There is a truth that most people fear to confront. The pain you carry is not your enemy. It is the very forge where your strength is tempered. Every wound, every heartbreak, every betrayal has carved into you the possibility of transformation. It is tempting to escape pain, to numb it, to distract yourself with the endless noise of the world. But this is how the soul remains asleep. Your pain is a signal, a divine message from the unconscious that something must awaken within you. To ignore it is to live half alive, trapped in a cycle of unconscious suffering. But to face it is to step into the fire and emerge reborn. You must be willing to descend into the depths of yourself, even when the descent feels unbearable. The human spirit is like a tree. It grows upward toward the light only when its roots grow deep into the dark soil. The shadow that frightens you most is not there to destroy you. It is there to lead you to wholeness. When you stop running from what hurts, you discover that the pain contains energy, and that energy can be reclaimed. This is the beginning of your power. The very thing that once made you feel powerless becomes the source of your inner strength. This power is not loud. It is not about domination or control. It is the quiet force of someone who has seen the depths and still chooses to rise. Pain, when integrated, becomes wisdom. It sharpens your perception, deepens your compassion, and teaches you to stand firm in a world that tries to shake you. Without pain, there is no maturity of the soul. Without suffering, there is no depth to your character. It is in pain that you meet yourself, not the persona you present to others, but the true self that lives beneath the masks. This meeting is not easy, but it is the most important meeting of your life. The process of turning pain into power requires courage. It asks you to hold the wound with awareness rather than resentment. To ask not, "What did this happen to me?" but, "What can this teach me? What part of me is being called to grow?" Pain will break you, yes, but it will also rebuild you. If you allow it. You are not meant to stay broken. The cracks in your soul are where the light of consciousness enters. The more you embrace this truth, the more unshackable you become. Because you are no longer at war with life. You have made peace with its trials and have learned to use them as fuel. There is a secret that few dare to speak about, a truth that lies in the depths of the human soul. Your pain is not a punishment, it is a teacher. Life does not bring suffering to destroy you, but to break apart the illusions that keep you from yourself. Every moment of despair, every wound you carry, every night you have spent staring into the darkness, wondering why life is so heavy, all of it holds within it a seed. And that seed is your potential for transformation. Most people will try to escape their pain. They will run from it, numb it, distract themselves with noise and pleasures, but the soul does not heal in avoidance. The soul heals when you turn toward what hurts. The very moment you stop running, you discover that pain is not a monster chasing you. It is a messenger, patiently waiting for you to listen. The pain you feel is the voice of the unconscious, the part of you that has been silenced for too long. It asks to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be given a place in your life. You cannot grow without listening to this voice. You cannot become whole by denying the very experiences that shaped you. The more you try to bury your pain, the more it controls you from the shadows. But when you face it, when you sit with it without fear, you reclaim the power that was hidden inside it all along. Pain is energy, raw, unrefined energy, and it is up to you whether that energy consumes you or transforms you. You must be willing to descend into the darkness of your own soul, even when it terrifies you. This is not weakness, it is courage of the highest order. For the human being is like a tree. Only when its roots grow deep into the soil of suffering can it reach higher toward the light. The darkness you fear, the shadow you avoid, is not the end of you, it is the beginning. It is the initiation every soul must undergo to truly know itself. The pain you carry is the key to the locked door within you. When you dare to unlock it, you do not just discover more pain. You discover a deeper strength, a hidden capacity to endure, to create, to rise again. Understand this: pain is not loud, it does not shout its wisdom, it whispers. It invites you to slow down, to stop distracting yourself, to feel. In feeling, you discover that you are far stronger than you believed. You discover that your suffering has carved out in you the space to hold more compassion, more understanding, more love. Pain teaches you what nothing else can. It strips away everything false and shows you what truly matters. It humbles the ego and awakens the soul. It asks you to release your grip on who you think you are. so that you may become who you are meant to be. But this transformation is not automatic. Pain will not turn into power unless you consciously work with it. It requires that you face the wound, not with resentment, but with curiosity. Ask yourself, what is this pain asking me to see? What part of myself is calling to be healed? This is not about blaming the world, or the people who hurt you, or even yourself. It is about using the energy of pain as a forge, allowing it to burn away what no longer serves you. You will feel broken at times. You will feel as though life has taken too much from you. But it is in this breaking that your soul is remade. The cracks are not flaws. They are openings through which the light of consciousness enters. They are proof that you have endured and yet remain standing. The moment you stop resisting, you begin to transform. You begin to sense a power growing within you. Not a power of dominance, not a power that shouts or demands, but a quiet, unshackable presence. It is the power of someone who has looked into the abyss and did not turn away. The world cannot take this power from you, because it was born inside you, in the deepest places of your being. This is why your pain is not just something to endure, it is your initiation into a deeper, truer life. Without it, you would never discover the strength that lies hidden in your soul. So I tell you again, do not curse your pain. Do not run from it. Do not wish it away. It is not here to destroy you. It is here to make you whole. It is calling you to become more than you were yesterday, to expand beyond what you thought possible. Hold it. Breathe through it. Let it teach you. Rise with it. For one day you will look back and see that the moments that hurt you the most were the very moments that shaped you, that gave you depth, that gave you power. The world does not need a version of you that has never suffered. It needs the version of you who suffered, faced it, and turned it into something greater. That is where your true power lies. There comes a moment in every human life when suffering can no longer be avoided. The illusions we built collapse, the masks we wear begin to crack, and we are left face to face with a truth we did not want to see. It is in this moment that you must understand. Your pain is not here to break you. It is here to awaken you. Pain is not an accident of existence. It is an essential part of the human journey. The soul cannot grow in comfort. It cannot evolve while you are anesthetized by pleasure, by distraction, by the endless chase for comfort. Growth comes when life places a weight on your chest and forces you to breathe deeper. It is in those moments of deep anguish that your true character is forged. But what most people do is run. They escape. They numb. They hide from the pain, thinking it is an enemy. Yet the more you run, the louder it becomes. The more you deny it, the more it stalks you. This is the paradox: what you resist persists. The pain you avoid will continue to appear in different forms. In your relationships, in your habits, in your fears. Until you finally turn around and face it. This is why your pain is your power, because the moment you face it, it no longer controls you from the shadows. It becomes your ally, your compass, your teacher. You must descend into the dark places within yourself, even when it feels unbearable. Do not be afraid of the descent. It is necessary. Every myth, every hero's journey begins with the descent into the underworld. This is the symbolic death of who you were, so that a stronger, truer version of you can be born. A pain is the fire that burns away the false layers of identity, revealing the essence of your being. This is why Jung spoke of individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are. But individuation always begins with a confrontation with the shadow, and the shadow is revealed most clearly through suffering. Your shadow contains everything you have denied, rejected, or suppressed about yourself. Your pain is a signal that some part of you is crying out for integration. Perhaps it is anger you never expressed, grief you never allowed yourself to feel, love you never gave yourself permission to receive. Pain points to the place where your soul has been wounded, but it also points to where your power has been locked away. If you dare to sit with it, if you dare to feel it fully without turning away, you can retrieve that power. There is a deep alchemy that happens when you face your suffering. The raw, chaotic energy of pain is like base metal, heavy, difficult, impure. But when you bring consciousness to it, when you observe it, reflect on it, learn from it, you begin the alchemical process of turning lead into gold. The pain does not disappear, it transforms, it becomes wisdom, it becomes compassion, it becomes clarity. It becomes the inner strength that allows you to stand in the storm without collapsing. This transformation is not quick, and it is not easy. It requires you to endure moments of darkness where it feels as though you are being undone. And in a sense, you are. But this undoing is holy. It is the dismantling of the false self, so that the true self can emerge. You may feel broken, but the cracks that form in your soul are not failures. They are openings through which light enters. They are proof that you are alive, that you have felt deeply, that you have lived. One day, if you allow yourself to do this work, you will look back and see that the very things you thought would destroy you were in fact the catalysts that shaped you. You will see that your heartbreak made you wiser, your losses made you grateful, your failures made you resilient. Pain will no longer be something you fear. It will be something you respect. Because you will know that every time you met it fully, you rose higher. And when you carry this awareness, you become unshackable. You stop living in fear of what might happen to you, because you know that whatever comes, loss, disappointment, betrayal, you have the power to transform it. This is the quiet confidence of someone who has faced the darkness and found the light within it. This is true power, not the ability to avoid suffering, but the ability to use it as a ladder to climb higher into your own potential. So do not curse your pain. Do not wish it away. Let it teach you. Let it purify you. Let it carve you into the person you were always meant to become. Your pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your awakening. One day you will thank it. One day you will see that it was the greatest gift life could have given you. For in your pain you found yourself. And in finding yourself you found your power. There is a point in every human life when the surface world no longer satisfies you. The masks you have worn begin to slip, the roles you have played no longer fit, and the pain you carry refuses to remain silent. This pain is not random. It is not a curse. It is the call of the soul, summoning you into a deeper relationship with life. And yet, most people resist this call. They run from pain, numb it with distractions, silence it with work, with noise, with endless scrolling and shallow pleasures. They treat pain as an intruder, something to be banished, something to be medicated away. But in truth, pain is the great initiator. It is the sacred threshold you must cross to meet your true self. Your pain is not meaningless. It is a message. It is life itself breaking through the surface of your existence to wake you up. Each heartbreak, each loss, each disappointment carries with it the seeds of transformation. The suffering you experience is not here to destroy you, but to burn away what is false, to strip you of illusions, to dismantle the identity that no longer serves you. This is why the journey of individuation, the journey toward wholeness, always begins with a descent into darkness. It is in the underworld of the psyche where the treasures of the soul are hidden. When you feel broken, when you feel lost, when you feel that everything has been taken from you, you are standing at the doorway of transformation. The ego screams that you are finished, that you cannot endure, that the pain will consume you. But the soul whispers that this is only the beginning. Pain is the alchemical fire. It is the furnace in which the raw material of your life is placed, so that it may be transformed into something purer, stronger, and infinitely more valuable. The base metal of suffering becomes the gold of wisdom, if you dare to endure the fire. The great myths have always known this truth. The hero must descend into the underworld before he can return with the treasure. Orpheus must descend to retrieve Eurydice. A Persephone must enter the realm of Hades before she can emerge as the Queen of Spring. Christ must pass through the crucifixion before the resurrection. These are not just stories. They are archetypes of your own life. Your pain is your underworld. Your suffering is your crucifixion. And within it lies the possibility of your resurrection. You must face what you have feared. You must sit what you have avoided. This is not easy, because pain is raw, unrelenting, and it will demand every ounce of your attention. But if you can stay present with it, if you can resist the temptation to run, you will begin to notice something miraculous. The pain contains energy. It is not passive. It is alive. It vibrates with intensity, with potential. That potential is your power. It is the strength you have not yet claimed, the wisdom you have not yet embodied, the depth of character that has been waiting to be born within you. This is why running from pain only prolongs your suffering, because the energy remains trapped, waiting for you to face it. When you do face it, you release that energy. You integrate what was once split off, what was once buried in the shadow. You become whole, and wholeness is the true source of power. A person who has faced their pain and integrated it walks differently in the world. They no longer seek constant approval. They no longer fear every storm. They no longer collapse when life becomes difficult. They have met the dragon and discovered that it was guarding the treasure all along. This transformation will not happen overnight. It is not a single moment but a process, a slow turning of the soul, like the turning of the earth toward the sun after a long winter. There will be days when you feel lost in the dark. There will be nights when you feel you cannot carry the weight. But it is precisely in those moments that the work is happening. Trust the process. Trust that your suffering is shaping you into someone you could not become otherwise. When you emerge, and you will emerge, you will be different. Your pain will no longer control you, because you will have absorbed its lessons. You will have learned that the very thing you thought would end you was the thing that made you unbreakable. You will carry yourself with quiet strength, the kind that does not need to shout, because you know what you have survived. You will become a light for others, a living example that pain does not have to destroy. It can transform. And so I tell you, do not reject your suffering. Do not curse your wounds. They are sacred. They are the portals through which consciousness grows. They are the teachers that strip you bare so that your true self may emerge. Your pain is the crucible, and you are the gold waiting to be revealed. Stand in the fire. Feel every moment of it. Let it break you open. Let it carve you into the shape of who you were always meant to be. And then rise. Not as who you once were, but as who you truly are. For it is through pain that you will discover the immensity of your power. There will come a moment. Perhaps it has already come, when life will bring you to your knees. Everything you thought you were will be stripped away. Everything you depended on will feel uncertain. And the person you believed yourself to be will no longer exist. This is not the universe punishing you. This is the universe calling you. Your pain is the invitation to step beyond the shallow surface of life and to walk into the depths of your soul. But we live in a world that fears depth. A world that distracts you from your wounds, that tells you to hide your tears, that numbs your heart with constant noise. We are taught to avoid pain at all costs. We medicate it, bury it. We bear it, we drown it in entertainment, we cover it with false smiles. But the more you avoid pain, the more it tightens its grip on you. What you resist does not disappear. It grows stronger. Pain left unacknowledged becomes a shadow that follows you, whispering through every broken relationship, every destructive habit, every sleepless night. And yet, if you dare to turn toward it, if you dare to look it in the eye, something miraculous begins to happen. Pain is no longer the enemy. It becomes the guide. The very thing that once hunted you becomes the compass that points you back to yourself. You see, pain is energy. It is not dead weight. It is alive, demanding to be felt, demanding to be understood. And within that energy lies the key to your transformation. This is the ancient pattern, the descent before the ascent. The old myths told us this truth long before we forgot it. The hero must descend into the underworld before he can claim the treasure. Gilgamesh must face the death of Enkidu before he can find wisdom. Dante must walk through the fires of hell before he can see the stars. Christ must bear the cross before the resurrection. These stories endure because they are not just stories. They are maps of the human soul. They are your story. Your pain is your underworld. Your suffering is the night sea journey. When you are in pain, you are standing at the threshold of the unconscious. And at that threshold stands the dragon, the guardian of the treasure, the keeper of your unclaimed power. Most turn back at this point, terrified of what they might find. But if you are willing to face the dragon, if you are willing to stand in the fire, you will not only survive, you will be transformed. This is the alchemy of the soul. The raw, chaotic, heavy matter of suffering is placed in the furnace of awareness, and from that furnace emerges gold. But this transformation does not happen passively. It requires participation. It requires courage. You must not merely endure pain. You must work with it. You must sit with it in silence and ask, what are you trying to teach me? What part of me have I abandoned? What truth have I refused to face? In this way, pain becomes dialogue. And as you listen, you will begin to hear the deeper layers of your own psyche. You will uncover grief that was buried, anger that was suppressed, dreams that were forgotten. And when you bring these hidden pieces back into the light of consciousness, you begin to heal. You begin to feel whole. This process is not instant. It will take time. It will take many nights when you feel the weight of the world on your chest. It will take days when you wonder if you are moving forward at all. But each time you choose to stay with the pain, rather than run from it, you grow stronger, you grow deeper, you grow more real. Slowly your pain transforms from a wound into a source of wisdom. It teaches you compassion for yourself and for the suffering of others. It teaches you clarity, the ability to see what truly matters. It teaches you resilience, the strength to stand when life knocks you down. And then something extraordinary happens. The pain that once defined you no longer controls you. You have taken its power and made it your own. You walk through the world with a quiet strength. Not because you have never fallen, but because you have fallen and risen again. You have died to an old version of yourself and been reborn as something greater. You are no longer a prisoner of your wounds. You are the guardian of the wisdom they gave you. This is why I tell you your pain is not your curse. It is your crucible. It is the fire that burns away everything that is false so that only what is true remains. Do not run from it. Do not wish it away. Enter it, trust it. Let it break you open so that it can build you anew. Let it carve you into the person you were meant to be. For on the other side of pain is not just survival. It is transformation. On the other side of pain is power. One day, you will look back and realize that the moments you thought were meant to destroy you were the moments that gave birth to the strongest, wisest, most authentic version of yourself. And you will understand that your pain was not the end of your story. It was the beginning of the story you were always meant to live. There will come a time when life will ask you a question so profound that it shakes you to your core. It will not ask you politely. It will not ask you with words. It will ask you through pain. Through the breaking of what you thought was unbreakable. Through the shattering of the image you held of yourself. Through the loss of what you once thought you could not live without. And when this happens, most people will collapse into despair. They will curse the heavens. They will wonder what they did to deserve this. They will believe life has turned against them. But this is not life punishing you. This is life initiating you. Your pain is your initiation. It is the threshold you must cross if you are to meet your deeper self. And yet, we are taught to fear this threshold. We are taught to stay in the shallow waters of existence, to keep smiling, keep performing, keep pretending everything is fine. We are taught to numb ourselves. With distractions, with endless work, with substances, with scrolling, with noise. Anything to avoid hearing the cry of our own soul. But the cry does not go away. The pain does not disappear just because you ignore it. It hides in the shadow, it waits patiently, it seeps into your dreams, into your relationships, into your habits. It will not rest until you face it. This is the paradox. The very thing you are running from is the thing you need most. Pain is not here to harm you. It is here to transform you. It is the messenger of the unconscious, the voice of the parts of you that you have abandoned, rejected, or denied. And when you finally turn toward it, when you finally listen, you will realize that it has been guiding you all along. But this facing of pain is no small task. It is a descent into the underworld, the place where all the parts of yourself that you have exiled dwell. Your grief, your rage, your shame, your fear. They are all there, waiting. And yes, it is terrifying to go down there. You will feel as though you are being pulled apart. You will feel as though you are losing everything. In a way, you are. But what you are losing is what is no longer true. Pain is the fire that burns away the false self, the persona you have constructed to survive. What remains, when the fire has done its work, is something far more real. The ancient myths understood this. They told us that every hero must pass through the night before he can reach the dawn. Inanna, the great goddess, must descend through 7 gates, stripped of her titles, her jewels, her clothing, her power, until she stands naked in the underworld. Only then can she rise again, crowned Inu. This is not just her story. It is yours. Life will strip you. Life will take from you the things you cling to most tightly. Not because it wishes to destroy you, but because it wishes to reveal you. When you are in pain, you are being invited to step into the fire of transformation. Do not resist it. The more you resist, the more it burns. The more you surrender, the more it purifies. This is the alchemical process that turns lead into gold. Not in some laboratory, but in the depths of your own soul. The lead is your suffering, heavy and dull. The gold is the wisdom, strength, and clarity that emerges when you integrate that suffering into who you are. This journey is not quick. It is not a single breakthrough or a moment of inspiration. It is a slow unfolding, a continual dialogue with your own depths. There will be nights when you feel lost, days when you feel empty, moments when you wonder if you will ever feel whole again. But these moments are not signs of failure. They are signs that the work is happening. Growth is not always visible from the outside. Sometimes it is quiet, invisible, like roots deepening in the soil before the first green shoot appears. As you walk through this process, you will discover something extraordinary. Pain does not just strip you. It gives to you. It gives you compassion, because when you have suffered deeply, you can no longer look at the suffering of others with indifference. It gives you courage, because when you have walked through the fire and survived, fear loses its grip on you. It gives you clarity, because pain forces you to see what truly matters and what never did. It gives you depth, because it carves open chambers in your soul that were once sealed. And eventually, pain gives you power. Not the kind of power that dominates or controls, but the quiet, unshackable power of someone who has met themselves in the depths and returned with the treasure. This is the power of the phoenix that rises from the ashes, the power of the wounded healer who can now guide others, the power of the warrior who has faced the dragon and lived. When you reach this point, you will look back and see that the moments you thought were meant to destroy you were the very moments that shaped you. You will no longer resent them. You will bow to them in gratitude, for without them, you would never have discovered the immensity of your own strength. So do not run from your pain. Do not curse it. Do not numb it. Sit with it. Listen to it. Let it speak to you. Let it carve you into the person you were always meant to be. There is power in your wounds. There is wisdom in your scars. There is a new life waiting for you on the other side of this night. And when you rise, and you will not be the same. You will be something greater, something deeper, something truer. And the world will feel it, because a person who has faced their pain and turned it into power carries a presence that cannot be faked. They walk with a light that was earned, not given. They become a beacon for others still lost in the dark. This is your path. This is your initiation. Your pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your transformation. Let it break you open. Let it remake you. Let it lead you to your power. And so, I tell you, do not curse your pain. Do not treat it as a curse to escape from. It is your initiation, your rite of passage. It is how life wakes you from sleep and calls you to become more than you were yesterday. Your pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to make you whole. Stand in it, breathe through it, and rise with it. The world does not need a version of you that has never suffered. It needs a version of you that has suffered and transformed. That is where your real power lies.